Steven did a good job doing that the other night.
How do you take it on yesterday? Or was this not?
Oh, he's a
really
great kid.
surprising?
Steven's a great kid. He's a hard worker. He's just going to, keep putting his head down and going to work. He's not a guy that pouts. He never has been. And, those two have been exceptional in the way they've handled the entire competition. Unlike many other positions, theirs has played out publicly, and they've both done a great job with it.
Do you have the luxury now of being able to go back to basics a little bit and almost go back into a camp mentality?
Yeah, this is. You're exactly right. We're just trying to improve our team right now. We have so many things that we need to improve. And again, we're trying to find some continuity in our lineups. We haven't had any continuity in any of our lineups for 2 weeks, and hopefully this gives us an opportunity to have some continuity here and just coach guys at the position they're going to play in the game and improve our team.
Obviously, you put out the depth chart, but can it still change before the Ohio
Sure.
State game?
Yeah, it could change it. It could change. You can ask me that question 3 weeks from now, and I'll say the same thing. I mean, again, how they practice is who starts the game, how they play in the game, who finishes the game. We had that happen in a lot of positions the other day. Obviously, Streeter was on the field at the end of the game because he really performed well during the game. But Streeter didn't start the game. So there's a great example right there of our methodology, occurring in a game.
Now, Corey, you might have touched on this already, but I mean, what made him earn the starting role at this point?
Well, I think he earned it in training camp. I think his body of work, his experience, and clearly there were some things in the game the other night that I think his experience and his maturity would have helped measurably. So that's the decision that we made, and that's the decision that I informed them both yesterday morning.
Would you have preferred Al, the tight ends, be involved a little bit more?
Absolutely.
Just the way it
Absolutely. Correct. No question.
Obviously, Al showed up late, but what caused you to change your mind? You said the other day that you were going to let him compete over these 3 days of practice.
And just watching it 2 or 3 times, and then looking at the whole team, the needs of the whole team, and then clearly having a chance to sit down with all the coaches too. So it was a combination of it. Again, in many respects, if there's things going on in the game that maybe you look at it, hey, what's going on in that play? There's many times that we don't know all the pieces of the puzzle until we can get everybody together. So from that standpoint, we wanted to make sure that we talked to everybody and communicated to everybody on the offense, staff, and players, and find out what things went wrong, most particularly with the operation, and get them fixed.
Al, you've got a couple of either-ors, obviously, to work out in the next few days. Did Chickalo show you that much Monday night?
He did a good job. The moment wasn't too big for him, which was good. There were some other guys that, again, I think we played 22 guys in the game that was their first college game, and for 12 guys that was their first start. So we learned a lot about those guys as individuals, both guys who played in the game and guys who started in the game. So, but for a lot of guys, the moment wasn't too big. For Jake, it wasn't too big. He kicked off exceptionally. His field goal was excellent with 4 minutes to go in the game in a tight spot in the other end zone. The Dalton Botts did a nice job. Chickalo was one of those guys that we mentioned to Alan Hearns, his first spot. Lamar Miller, really his first time being the guy. I can go on and on, but a lot of them really responded well.
The second team offensive line, I guess 3 of those guys are now at different spots, and I know there's all sort of interchangeable, but can you just talk about maybe what you want to get out of that group?
Yeah, it's been interchangeable. It will continue to be interchangeable. For us, if we can get to 10 that can go in the game, that'd be great. But right now, we feel like we have 8 that can go in the game. With Feliciano, Shane, and Bunch being the next 3, and then we'll go from there. Wheeler's close. Jeremy Lewis has done a good job. So I mean, there's some some depth there that we're building. But Feliciano and Wheeler, as I've said, have really done a nice job and have earned the right to be able to play both guard and tackle.
Now, you obviously had a few days where you could have held off on any announcements. Did you just not want this hanging over everybody's head, as far as the starter quarterback?
Oh, again, I know what I said after the game, so it would be in my best interest to announce it on Saturday and not have to deal with it. But the reality of it is, I had a chance to sit down, watch the game several times, meet with the offensive staff, meet with guys on the team, and evaluate it. And I slept on it, felt good about it, and made a decision. And that's pretty much who I am. So that's the decision we made, and we'll move forward from there.
Getting Ja'Cory extra reps. I know you said he hadn't been getting much reps. Was that a factor to make sure you get him more right now? As
Right now?
opposed to, yeah.
No,
as opposed to
he's been good. He's been good. He even the reps that he couldn't get with the varsity, he took a lot of reps on scout last week, and he stayed after and through and that type of thing. And he was in there at 7 a.m. grading the tape Tuesday morning. So he's engaged. His attitude has been great. His attitude has been great. And again, I think Steven is going to glean a lot from this experience. He learned a lot. I think he'll be ready, even more prepared the next time his opportunity comes. But it's a great opportunity for Ja'Cory, and a well-deserved opportunity for Ja'Cory, to be honest with you.
Now, did Hagens win his role Monday night, or is he showing you that kind of capability kind of throughout?
No, I think he's been good. And again, he doesn't get enough credit for the blocking that he does, and he did a nice job blocking. But I think clearly he's become a guy that can help us out in short yardage, which is great.
Al, I apologize if you answered this question already, but it was stated earlier 3 practices you were going to determine the starting quarterback. Why just one when you decided on Ja'Cory, if that's correct?
Again, I did state it earlier, but I'll help you out. Again, I thought after the game that we would let them compete. That was my first. Obviously, I wasn't really thinking about, right after the game, what are we going to do on Thursday? But my natural instinct is to say, let them compete. And then I evaluated it all day. I guess that would have been Tuesday. Kind of slept on it Tuesday night, and then informed both of them on Monday that's the direction that I wanted to go. And it was, primarily because of the body of work that Ja'Cory put together in training camp, his experience, and obviously what we saw in the game, the things that we needed in the game, were really things that we thought Ja'Cory could give us at this stage.
Al, you had said several times that they were neck and neck. In retrospect, was Ja'Cory ahead most of the time?
Well, I mean, they were right there, and again, it was, it was preempted, but again, if you take the body of work, before that, Ja'Cory was probably just slightly ahead, and going into that final scrimmage, that was the scenario. So again, I'm looking at who gives us the best chance to win. Okay, and then I'm also looking at what things did we need in that game to win, and we needed to have a better operation on offense. We needed to get out of some plays. We needed to get in some formations, some other formations, and I think his experience will make a difference for us in this second game.
Al, do you look at last year's game at all against Ohio State and how Ja'Cory did? Does he look at film, or do you forget that totally and move on?
Well, we look at it from the personnel standpoint, but and again, they haven't changed that much, and I don't know if they'll have a struggle this weekend, but they didn't have one last weekend. So we to the degree that they have to struggle to win, we'll know if that's who they really are, or they're just keeping it basic because they don't want to show anything. So again, but if I'm Ja'Cory, I'm not looking at. He's a different person and a different player than he was last year.
Now, kind of off topic, but why on kickoffs Monday night? It seemed like he was able to pull everything down into one of these corners. Is that by design?
He was tremendous. He was tremendous. He put it right where he wanted to put it, because I always tell him, tell us where you want it, and we'll cover it. And sometimes he likes to go to the right, sometimes he likes to go to the left. Again, it depends on the conditions, the wind, and all those things. So he did a tremendous job for us. I mean, I think we picked up 12 yards in field position every time we kicked off, or returned, or they kicked off and returned. So either way, we were starting at the 33. I think they were starting at the 21.
Do you leave that on? Do you leave that on the kicker, or when they start flirting with the sideline, is that on them, or?
You mean
do
kick it out of bounds?
No, I know that, but do you leave it kind of up to him, as far as him saying, I want to, go for this hash, whatever?
Yeah, if he says, when we get there, if he says, Coach, I think I like to go right to right, going this way, or left to left, or middle to right, middle to left, whatever the case is, we let him choose, and we'll cover it, accordingly. So it's easier if we get the right kick, which we did the other night. We got the right kicks. But we're set up to go to the middle, to go to the right, or to go to the left, depending on what the conditions are.
Al, 3 catches for 10 yards from among the tight ends. Is that satisfactory? Were you
No.
expecting more?
We're expecting much more, and we have to do a better job of getting them in the game, and most particularly getting Clive, touches. We didn't do a good job there. Again, we're playing with a lot of guys there that haven't played a lot. Clive hadn't played a lot of football. So for our entire team, it was a great experience in terms of building depth. A lot of new faces playing, and a lot of new guys starting. So hopefully we'll learn a lot from that.
You got Mike Williams on a war with Lee Chain versus.
Yeah, Lee played really well. Not that Mike didn't fare well, but Lee played really well, and so we'll let them compete.